Hey guys, and welcome back to the dashboard series. So in this video we'll pick up where we left off in the last video, and where we got to there is we had this house over here in the left corner. We had our title, and to complete our header row, so the top row here, we need to include a button over here. So we'll do that first, and then we'll look at also importing some data that we'll use obviously throughout our dashboard. So to import the button, we'll go, or to create the button I should say, we'll go html.div, and then within the div we'll use this html.a component, and within that we'll go html.button. What we're going to call our button is we're going to go latest weather, and we'll give it an ID, and we'll just call it weather button. And then we just line those up, and we come out here. So what we're going to do is the button's actually going to link us to a website, so we'll have a href here, and we'll go http and www.bom.gov.au. and what BOM stands for is the Bureau of Meteorology. It's an Australian government website that provides weather. So given the fact that we're doing a dashboard for a home, residential property, insurance portfolio, if it's highly susceptible to natural perils, so if there's a severe weather warning that gets issued, this website's going to have the details. So on your dashboard you might just want a link where you can just click the button, go straight to the BOM website and check out how bad the severe weather warning will be and where it's located, to see where your portfolio is located. So that's that there. So what we can do is we can now save our code here, and we'll just quickly down here, we'll give it a class name, and we'll call it 1/3 column again, similar to what we did above, and we'll give it another ID down here, and we'll just go ID equals button. Save that. Let's go have a look at our dashboard. So what you got is you got the picture. Obviously this button's meant to go over there, so we haven't formatted it yet, but we can click it and we can just check to see if it works or not. So we click that, the link works, it takes us to the Australian government site. So we head back to our dashboard and we'll sort that formatting out now. So what we can do is we can come down here and we'll give it an ID. We go ID header for the header row. We have a class name, and what we can do here is we can go row, we go flex display, and again this is accessing the CSS file over here if you're wondering where the formatting is actually coming from. And we go style here, which isn't coming from the CSS file, this is just straight into the code here. We go margin bottom, and we go 25 pixels. Save again. Let's go have a look at our dashboard, and as you can see it's updated. It's got everything relatively aligned, centered, spaced out nicely. So that's our header row. We're pretty good to go. Now before we move on to the controls, which if you remember from the original video, which were down here, or the intro video, they were down here, we need to go and input our data, because we'll start using that data when we write the code there. So where we're going to position this is we're going to come back up under here, so outside of our app layout, and we'll just write a quick comment, so load data, and we'll create a data frame here, so we'll call it df, and we go pd.read csv, like you'd read a CSV with pandas in any other Python script. And sorry, I've got a bit ahead of myself there. Before we actually do that, what we'll do is we'll create a couple of variables, and one will be called path, and we use the pathlib library that we imported up the top, pathlib.path, and _file.parent, and we also need data path, resolve. So we've got those two there now, and then what we'll do when we import the CSV file, we can now use that variable data path that we just created. Go join path, and then we're just going to go home.csv because that's what we've labeled our CSV file out here, which is located in the data directory. So we got to do a bit of manipulation here, so we'll just run through this really quickly. The purpose is to do the dashboard, not a pandas tutorial, so we'll just run through it. And in the data file there'll be a column of inception date, and what we're going to do is we're just going to essentially run this date time code across it, so it puts it in a format as we wish. So we've got a lambda function here, and we go dt dot date time, we go x, and we put the format in, so we go percent capital Y, percent little m, and percent day. And then we're going to create a new column here, and we're going to go inception year, because we're going to need this, and that will be df inception date .dt.year. We're also going to have an inception month, so we'll just copy the year, and that can go to month. So there's a couple of new columns created, and then you'll see all this come together as we use it below, but we're going to need a variable that we're going to call unique years, and that's going to be going to sort a list. It's going to have the inception date .dt.year .unique, and that should include the years 2017, 2018, 2019 in the sorted list. Now we're going to have the months. It's going to be a list df inception date .dt.month .unique, and I'm just going to copy this from the GitHub code to save me typing it out, so you can do that as well if you want. We've just got this dictionary that we're calling months dict, and we're also going to have a variable down here called year options, and that's going to be a list, and in that we're going to have a label, string function with a year, value, the year. So that dictionary structure there is what Dash requires, which we'll use down below for when we put our options in to certain controls. So that's why we're doing that there, and we just got to do a list comprehension here to make sure that we've got a dictionary for each year. So it's going to be for year in unique years. So all that's really doing is it's just going to say that the label, because the unique years, as I said, it's going to be 2017, 18 and 19. All it's going to be is a list of 3 dictionaries, which is just going to have label 2017, value 2017, label 2018, 18, 19, 19. But that's what we need to do for the Dash formatting. So that's what we need, and that's essentially all our data imports and manipulation from the original structure of the data to getting it how we need it for our dashboard. So we'll cut this video off here, And what we'll do is we'll come into the next video and start working on the control panel down here, where we'll start using some of these variables that we just created here with our data. So I hope this one was helpful. Remember to give it a thumbs up if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.